A day in a life of a professional sports gambler. Have you guys seen those videos all over YouTube? And they're all pretty much the same. Guy with a flashy watch, lots of jewelry, maybe hops into a fancy car, says, "Hey, we're going to be heading out. Oh, don't forget a bag of cash." He says, "Hey, we're going to be heading out to the sports book today. We're going to be placing a large bet, whether it's 10,000, 15,000, 50,000, 100,000, whatever it is." He says, "We're going to head to the sports book. We're going to throw this money down, and I'm going to show you the day in the life of a sports bettor." Well, guess what? They are not real professional sports bettors. They do not make their money from sports betting. So, day in the life of a sports bettor. Yes, they are gambling on sports. They are a sports bettor per se, much like everybody can be a sports bettor. But they're not a professional sports bettor, somebody that makes their money betting on sports daily. Now, one of the things that professional sports bettors do is that they just don't take one or two games or three games per day and then call it a day. Oh, we're done. That's not how professional sports gamblers work. And like, I want to be clear. When you have to understand what a sports gambler or what a professional sports gambler is. There's like different levels to this game, right? There's the recreational sports gambler. They call them rec, right? And then you have a professional sports gambler. They call them sharps or pros. But, when it comes to the sharp betting or the professional sports betting, there's guys who are called originators. And these originators are the ones that's actually doing the work, doing the analysis, doing the models, saying what the line should be compared to what the line is at that sports book. That is what a professional sports gambler does. Now, just because that's really what an originator does, but some people can consider that what a professional sports gambler. But what I want to offer to you guys is that if you make money, your living off of sports gambling, then you can consider yourself a professional sports gambler. And some of the guys who are, influencers in this space, they don't necessarily make their money betting on sports, but they do make their money in some money in the sports gambling industry, and that could be from hosting groups or having a Discord chat that you have to pay to get into, and that's how they make their money. So they're professionally making money in the sports gambling industry, but are they originating the picks? Are they the ones that's making the decisions? They like to say they are, because some of these guys, they ask, "Oh, how do you make these plays?" Or "How do you?" "Oh, I'm just good. I watch a lot of sports. I grew up liking sports, and I can just know who's going to win." And it does not work that way. I work with a lot of professional sports gamblers. I'm talking real originators. I work with them, so I make a professional living off of sports gambling. And that doesn't require me to be the originator. I am not the one making the plays, and I've shared this on this channel before. I copy plays, and and the way I do that is that I work with professional sports gamblers, and those guys are originators. And you have to understand that being an originator is the same thing as the guys who are behind the desk at the sports book, right? You look at a sports book, you go up to the window, there's the guy who's taking the bet, and then there's the boss, and then there's the traders who are in the back. That is either accepting that's saying like, yeah, we can take that bet, or like, hey, let's move the line. this and that. So those guys are traders. On the opposite side of that is the same thing as traders or originators on the gambling side. So those guys are very rare. There's not a lot of them because it takes a lot of knowledge to really figure out what the best line is. So let's say you're talking about this guy who works at the desk at a sports book. Is he good at making picks, right? Is he good? I mean, he might have a little bit of an edge because he works with traders. He sees what happens when guys are putting down plays. He can see this guy who's constantly winning coming in to make his play, and he said that, hey, he can say that, oh, I'm going to follow this guy, right? But he's not necessarily good at making the picks himself, right? And that's the same that goes on the other side of sports gambling. You got guys that are originators that are determining what the line should be, and then there's another play that happens when all the bets are getting put down, right? So that's, that's a whole other side of sports gambling. And when it comes to these guys saying that a day in the life of a sports gambler, well, they're not really that professional sports gambler that you're looking for. These guys are might be part of the system. I'm part of that system, but I would never say that I'm the one who is originating these plays. I've got all this knowledge in sports. No, but I do have those plays from originators, and that's sometimes those are the things that I do share with people inside my community. But, I just want to shed some light on these guys that are trying to tell you that they are the ones making these picks. It's obviously a lie when it comes to people. If you've been in the sports gambling industry for a long time, that's a blatant lie, because a day in the life of a sports gambler, that's not what it looks like. Well, if you say a sports gambler, recreational sports gambler, yes, but that's not what it looks like when it comes to professional sports gamblers. And I know, because I talk to these guys, I know that they're very busy. I can barely get some time with them, especially during some seasons when there's a lot of games. They are looking at injury reports, doing models, trying to understand the numbers. They're watching games. They're looking at the line changes, checking different places. So it's a lot of work. It's not what you see here on YouTube when they're just loading up their backpack full of money and going to the sports book and saying they're going to throw this money down and then go chill out, right? That's not the way it works. And the reason is because, like, you put down $10,000, $15,000 on 1-2 bets, you're gonna have a harder time of winning, because they're not really winning at that high percentage that one $10,000 bet is going to get them everything that they need. That's only the video they're showing you because it won that day, right? Maybe the next day they made another video, never released it because that play lost. So why even talk about it? But, so when it comes to professional sports betting, there are a lot of plays that are being done all throughout the day, because let's say you're hitting at a 55%, you just have to have that little edge over the sports book. And when you have that little edge over the sports book, 55% winning, then that has to compound day after day after day, after so many bets. And then that's how your money stacks up when it comes to trying to make a living off of sports gambling. It's not 100,000 here on one bet, and then they won it, and then they're just going to sit back and relax for the rest of the month. That's not the way it works, because they can easily lose that the next day or next month, and then what are you going to do? So that's not the way that professional sports gamblers work. And that's what I want to share with you guys today. If you guys want to join the community and get some of the plays that I share from the real professional sports gamblers that I work with, click the link below and you will get to join that community. I'll catch you on the other side. Thanks for watching.